Ladies and gentlemen, the first day of padded practice for the New York Football Giants has concluded, and we have some notes, some storylines, discussion points, if you will. What's going on? I'm Nick Falato with Big Blue View here to give a brief overview of Giants training camp thus far. The corollary to adding Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, and Jalen Hyatt for the Giants offense was to rectify their 2022 critical vulnerability on offense, which was their lack of explosive plays. If training camp has shown us anything, it's that tight end Darren Waller is different than anything the Giants have possessed at this position, although arguments about Jeremy Shockey are welcomed, albeit they're a bit different. Waller's sheer size and athletic traits were on full display through the first week of training camp, and the Giants wish it remains that way henceforth. Waller's recent run-ins with injuries are of concern. However, Joe Schoen seemed confident in the Giants training staff, which was one reason why he felt comfortable trading for the tight end. Schoen said the soft tissue injuries were down 200% last season. He's quoted, "The soft tissue stuff. I have a lot of confidence in the training staff. Our strength staff, sports science, we felt comfortable with that information and that we had the staff that we have in place to get Waller on the field and keep him healthy." I'm knocking on wood for 12. He could be a true difference maker and take the offense and Daniel Jones beyond the wall of greatness. We also shouldn't forget about Daniel Bellinger, and I don't believe we have. His presence doesn't just ensure a formidable 12 personnel package, but it could also help the Giants keep Waller fresh as the season progresses. Bellinger is competent, and he can spell Waller. He can handle the tougher blocking assignments, and while one never wants to establish a predictable trend, managing the reps of your tight end room, with a tight end room, mind you, that may run 11 personnel 65% of the time, which would be 6% less than last season, needs not just an insurance policy, but a proficient option for different personnel groupings against specific opponents. That's something Mike Kafka will take advantage of. The Giants have options, not just at tight end either. Other than Waller, the offensive giant who has generated the most hype is rookie speedster Jalen Hyatt, who clocked 24 miles per hour in practice last week. I get it. It's training camp. But here are some numbers. Tyreek Hill's fastest time last season was 21.8 miles per hour. Jalen Waddle's was 22.5. Darius Slayton, 21. Saquon Barkley, 21.3. And Daniel Jones last year was 19.6. Jones' fastest career time was 2020. I think we all unfortunately remember that against the Eagles. Stumbled, fell on his face, tackled by an invisible person. Still, 24 miles per hour for Jalen Hyatt is an insanely impressive number. Fortunate for the Giants, his speed is only part of what is turning heads at training camp. Hyatt's concentration, body adjustment, and the toe drag swag he has displayed so far, they're all impressive. And he's also exhibited explosive releases off of the line of scrimmage. Hyatt may have a significant year one impact, but he also doesn't have to if he's not ready to actually find the football field, because all of a sudden the Giants possess some depth at the wide receiver position. But if he can add statistical significance to the wide receiver position, it's just going to be a cherry on top of an excellent Sunday. More than likely it will be digested on Sunday. Both Waller and Hyatt have displayed soft hands so far through camp, and the football has found them often, as it has Darius Slayton and Paris Campbell. Unlike last season, the Giants' offense has started hot in training camp, and I've been impressed with Daniel Jones' ball placement, touch, specifically on throws outside the number toward the sidelines. Even though I love and adore this coaching staff and front office, this year, 2023, Daniel Jones is the nucleus of the cell that is the New York Football Giants. Against the odds, Jones won a playoff game, got his money, and is ensconced as the starting quarterback for Big Blue. Jones is the impetus to success. This is a quarterback-driven league, and Jones received new shiny toys throughout this offseason like a spoiled kid on Christmas. Let's see him use them now. If the Giants want to establish themselves as true competitors in an NFC with a paucity of proven franchises, then it is incumbent on the 26-year-old to continue his development. Now, how does he do that? Simple. Well, maybe to explain, but not necessarily to implement. He must let it loose when the opportunities arise. When there's a play to be made down the field, he has to seize that moment. That did not happen nearly enough last season. Also, and this isn't solely on Jones, but the Giants need to start winning in the division. Come on, 1 win last year. That's insane, and a tie. In 6 games last season, Jones in the division, Jones threw for over, that's more than, 200 yards once. and that was the Thanksgiving game against Dallas. And the Giants were trailing in a lot of those matchups. The Giants do not benefit from playing the AFC South this year. They have to win in the division to replicate their success from last year. That mission starts at home week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. But there's still a long road till then. So, as Coach Brian Daboll preaches, the Giants have to endure this arduous journey rep to rep, snap to snap, practice to practice. There is one person, though, hardly has any professional practice snaps under his belt, yet is turning heads like the distracted boyfriend meme, and that is rookie 6th-round pick out of Old Dominion, Trey Hawkins III. The young player had 3 pass breakups in his first padded practice, is receiving snaps on the first-team defense, and is playing exceptionally well. I'm not trying to be a preemie here. He still has a lot to prove, but with all things considered, impressive would be an understatement for his first few practices. Conversely, first-round pick Deonte Banks, who is consistently going up against the first team, has struggled a bit in camp. He had a few bounce-back plays in padded practice and one beautiful pass defended along the sideline from Monday's practice against Darius Slayton, but the young corner from Maryland still has his work cut out for him. As expected, though, the Giants are cycling their competent offensive linemen into the first-team rotation. They did this last year at this time as well, and it's notable that the Giants had 20 different offensive line combinations throughout last year. Although their offensive line wasn't great, it did have its struggles, they were still good enough to win a playoff game. There's something to be said about that. A lot of credit to Bobby Johnson, Mike Kafka, and Brian Daboll for that fact. And also, in practice, John Michael Schmitz started his 3rd straight practice at center. Look, if John Michael Schmitz isn't the starter and injuries did not befall him on week 1, then that's an issue. The Giants spent some high capital, round 2 pick on John Michael Schmitz. Hopefully, he will be the starter. It's trending in that direction. Some other quick notes. According to John Schmelk, thegiants.com, Tamon Fox had the best pass rush rep of the day. Unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure of witnessing that, but I'll always hold fond Fox's attempt to decapitate Travis Etienne at the end of the first half versus Jacksonville last season. It was also great to see Rakeem Nunez-Roches, the defensive lineman, healthy and recovered from his concussion sustained in a car accident. He said it best in his press conference. The game is won up front. Bredesen also said the same thing in his press conference on the same day. One key factor to dominating the trenches for the New York Giants on the defensive side of the football is Leonard Williams, who dominated throughout his first padded practice. The combination of a healthy Leonard Williams with Dexter Lawrence, we saw last season, that Dexter Lawrence under Andre Patterson's tutelage, could help the Giants get into the top 5 in total sacks. They had 41 sacks last season, ranking 13th. With this defensive line and the amount that they're going to be able to sub to keep guys like Dex and Leo fresh, and the developments of Ojulari and Thibodeau under the aggressive eye of Wink Martindale, top 5 in sacks is attainable. And it's something that I'll truly be looking forward to. And that's not even acknowledging all of the additions that the Giants made on offense that now we need to see Daniel Jones seize and take advantage of. And hopefully we can see Daniel Jones starting to be discussed as a top 10 quarterback rather than a top 20 or top 15. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this quick hitter. I'm Nick Falato. Have a wonderful day.